Thank you for joining us this evening, and again, commending you all for your desire to lead Tumbler Ridge in this way. I'm wishing you the best of luck. So with no further ado, I would like to invite to the podium Bev Fournier for her opening comments.
Thank you. Welcome, neighbors. My name is Bev Fournier. I've lived in Tumbler Ridge for 12 years, and I'm running for mayor. Minister Don Phillips and the BC government were challenged to open up the existing coal fields to fill a huge requirement for steel around the world. It also gave the opportunity to expand the BC Railway into part of our country. The new town of Tumbler Ridge was born. There have been many people involved in the town right from the start that are still working to keep our town alive. We can't count on government handouts to make our town survive. The provincial government has budgets and very little money to cover all the municipalities in the province. It's up to the people of Tumbler Ridge to do whatever we can as individuals and groups for Tumbler Ridge to survive. And it's up to the mayor and council that you vote in on November the 15th to work diligently to advance every opportunity through to fruition. Promises don't put bread and butter on the table or supply jobs. And I will vote on propositions that benefit all the citizens and businesses in this town. When the mines resumed operations, the rejuvenation of the town slipped away to the back burner and we lost focus. 12 years ago, people were saying we have to develop Tumbler Ridge and not rely on the mines, and it hasn't happened. Over the last 7 years, we have seen businesses disappear from the downtown core. When we didn't enforce our zoning bylaw and allowed crew houses, the mines had no reason to build in this town. When we allowed dirty vehicles in town, there is no reason to build a large truck wash. We have to clean up our town to make it presentable for new people who want to purchase a home or start a business here. I offer the people of Tumbler Ridge my time, my diligence, and open, honest government. I offer communication in person, through the internet, and at town hall meetings. The council meetings will also be recorded and made available to the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Bev. I'd like to invite now Mr. Golhoff, please.
3 minutes. That's another minute than the councillors had, but I'll do my best. My name is Garrett Golhoff. I've been in this town for 14 years. I love it. I met my wife, Debbie. A lot of you know Debbie. I see a lot of neighbors and friends in here myself. A lot of people think maybe that all I know is a chainsaw and a lawnmower, but a lot more comes with this package than you think. I've worked 14 years in the surveying industry through McElhaney Surveyors before I started my own business. After McElhaney, I was at Peace River Coal for senior surveyor on site there doing blast circles, working with engineers and drafters. And that's what I've done a lot of. I've done a lot of oil and gas leases in the area, down the Bull Moose Mine Road, up the Talisman Road. Anywhere there's a lease, I've probably done something on it. If not, we'll pick the road routes and the math to do it. I've worked with environmental people to get things done. The jobs that I've had in the past, I think outside of the box. I don't just stick with the job description. When I see something come across my desk, I'll deal with it, and I'll fix a problem, come up with a solution, and get it done. I did the legal survey along the Core Lodge Road. It's a 15 kilometers long. It came across my desk as a senior surveyor, and I said I could do this myself with the training that I had in the past, saving thousands of dollars and doing it myself before I left Peace River Coal and went on my own. I know being a mayor is a very important job in this town. I would be an ambassador for you. I've heard a lot of your concerns tonight already, and I would deal with those and get those done as best as I can for the people that I serve. I don't become a mayor by myself or everything I've done. It's the voters that create a mayor, create a council that have to get along and work and get solutions and things done in this town. I am there for 4 years. I will be there for 4 years. I'm not there for 2 years or 1 year, and I don't see a job I'd want to take from the town. I just, you know, be the mayor and do the best I can, be an ambassador. My office would be open for everybody. My phone number is 1900. That's my
10
cell.
seconds.
And my name's in the book, Gallhoff. So if you have a problem with your neighbor or a fence line or something's going on that you think a mayor should get involved and maybe that'll get things done, give me a call. Thank you.
And Mr. McPherson.
I'm not Mr. McPherson, that was my dad. But I'm Don, and most of you people know me. Welcome everybody, and thank you to the Chamber for this opportunity. Experience that matters. Tumbler Ridge is at a turning point. Having a mayor with experience is important as we continue the work already started to revitalize this community. I have, okay, I'll start all over. I had a thing set here, I couldn't get close enough. Tumbler Ridge is at a turning point. Having a mayor with experience is important as we continue to work the work that's already started to revitalize this community. I have worked with 4 mayors and 5 councils. Through my experience, I know what it takes to make a good council. I will utilize the strengths and interests of each councillor to build a strong, confident council that we need to lead Tumbler Ridge as we rebuild. We have the opportunity to elect a council with experience, vision, new members, and new ideas. It's not just local issues that are dealt with, but also regional, provincial, and federal. Over the years, I have had the opportunity to be in contact with all levels of government. My experience as a councillor will serve me well, us well. Our seniors and youth are the foundation and the future of Tumbler Ridge. Working with our seniors, we have and will continue to improve their quality of life here. I would like to revisit having youth involvement on council. That really worked well when we had a youth councillor, and I'd like to redo that. Transparency is an important issue that has been talked about over the years but never really addressed. I intend to immediately bring to council a bylaw setting out the minimum number of town hall meetings which the council will attend. Social media and open door policy at town hall are also tools that I will use. Our biggest challenge is local jobs. I want TR to be a place where you can work and sleep in your own bed. Our unstable economy makes it hard to attract new business. Coal has been good to us in the past and will be again in the future. But the term coal mining town, I don't agree. We have a lot more to offer. Our wind farms, oil and gas, the proposed expansion of our community forest, and tourism enhanced by our geopark
10 seconds.
are all evidence of this. We are all in this together. Let my experience work for us. Thank you.
Thank you. We'd like now to open the floor for questions. Does anyone, it will work similarly. Actually, a question will be directed from the floor and then provided to a candidate according to a list already written. And so, are there any questions for the mayoral candidates? Yes, sir.
How are you going to get Canuso Falls Road paved?
Okay. That question is for Bev.
Oh, lovely. Well. Okay. Yeah, I just
You started?
Truthfully, I don't know. I think it needs to be fixed before it gets paved. I can see it being gravelled. But truthfully, I don't know. I can look into it and I can let you know. Harry? I will do that.
Thank you. Thanks. There we go. Is there another question from the floor?
I'll ask one.
Okay.
All the windmills up here. We got a community down in southern Alberta that's built a dam, and they're supplementing the community electrical with power from the dam. What am I saying here? Anyway, would anybody have an appetite up there for Tumbler Ridge buying a couple windmills, plugging in, and us plugging into there? I know it'd be a big cost up front, but once that cost is paid off, giving Tumbler Ridge cheaper power than what we're paying right now.
Actually, that is an issue that's been discussed. Capital Power didn't seem too interested in it, but we have discussed it at the UBCM with other companies. And that a partnership type thing. And I think it's worth looking at. We've also been asked why, if we get a power shut off on our grid, why we can't feed power back from these windmills. Well, there's a problem with that. And not being an electrician or anything, I can't answer that for you. But we shouldn't have problems with power shut off at the dam. We should be able to get it right from here. It's a question I bring up again to them because I think we should have, having power is important. And a generator, we've also asked for that. So I'm going past to what you asked me, but yeah, it's a good question.
Thank you. I apologize. It was brought to my attention during the break that some people weren't aware which speaker was speaking because they're sitting down. So can I ask you when you answer to stand, please? Thank you. Okay. Is there a question from the floor? Yes, Brenda?
Are you going to reiterate the question?
I can repeat the question, yeah.
Yes. Mike.
The format for the budget for District of Tumbler Ridge has been changed. And would you consider going back to the old format? Because it is more transparent. It shows actuals and budgeted amounts. It shows whether you've met your targets in capital funding and operating. So will you consider going back to the old format of the district's budget?
Brenda, are you comfortable with the question? Because that's going to you. But do you have a description of what it's changed to so that a person who hasn't seen that could compare?
Well, it doesn't show the actual, the previous year. The budget that comes out will show 2014, but it used to show 2013 actual and 2013 budgeted amount. So you can see the difference, and you can see if the targets were met in the previous year. And that's why it's really important to have that budget. It's probably more transparent, and you can understand?
Thank you.
Brenda, yeah, you answered your question. Anything that's more open and more easier to read, that's the way I roll. Bring it on, you know. you said yourself, it shows the past year, you know, what comparable to other things. I don't know why they changed it over how you're saying to what it is now. Maybe the financial officer's in here now and he could take that question home, because I'm on your side. I mean, anything that's more readable or understanding, it's, especially the budget, you know, that's your money, right? So you might want to see it and understand it better. That's my answer.
Thank you. Is there a question for the candidate? Yes.
I'd like to know, there was a bill passed, there's a water bill that's going to be enacted next year. I think it's Bill 68, not sure, but town residents are going to be enacted on. Every household will have a bill for $245 a year, which wasn't in place before. It was basically $100 a year for, I think it was garbage, water, and everything. So why are we getting taxed more when we're having more money coming into our community? Question. Why are we getting a water bill next year?
Okay, do you understand the question? Dawn, that's for you.
You know, everything costs money. Everything goes up. You know, our taxes aren't. They're based on what it costs to get these things done. I've always thought of water as a very cheap commodity in Tumbler Ridge. This is the first time it's ever actually come up as a complaint. I'm not really sure that there's that drastic increase is what you're talking about, but I'll sure look into it and I'll find out for you. But like I say, it costs money to do anything, and you know, everybody knows things are always going up, and taxes are necessary evils. But no, I've always thought water was fairly cheap in Tumbler Ridge, but maybe you've got a point. I'll find out for you.
Thank you. Yes, well.
If you had $1 million to spend every year for the next 4 years of your term, what would you spend the money on?
On your concerns that came up tonight, any one thing? $1 million a year? Well,
Yeah.
extra, like the budget's being done and just something to have to, let's go.
We got a $4.5 million surplus right now.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little less than a quarter out of that, $1 million every year to put towards something. What would you do?
Well, other than having a little bit of a nest egg for economy and things coming down the pipe, no more consulting fees. Getting things done, like good question. Like maybe you're talking about earlier with the land, with the rural land. Get it done. I mean, it costs money to survey. I know that it's not cheap. I think that going out of town, that was $100,000 or something Prince George paid to get those lots out of there subdivided. But yay, the town could put. It doesn't take a lot of money to make money or get something done for a vision for the people. So that's what it would go for, you know. A toll rope, a snowmobile thing down at Bull Moose Mines there.
10 seconds.
And that's the answer.
Thank you. Is there another question from the floor? Yes.
I'd like to know, if we've got that amount of money for surplus, why the entrances of our towns, from 3 entrances, our signs are all blistering, peeling, they look gross. That so-called logging, or whatever it's been called around this town over the last 2 or 3 years, is a mess. Any tourist that comes in here and looks at that, shake their heads. Because we've had many people visit and ask me what is up with that. one summer, we didn't have no Tumbler Ridge signs all summer. So why can't we spend a little bit of money to attract tourists besides, you know, the other stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Well, is this on?
Okay. I come from a logging community, and usually when they take down the trees and stuff, they slash burn. And they slash burn in the winter. And that clears up a lot of it, and then the tree planters come in and plant trees. But the signs at the entrances, that was one of my jobs, cleaning up the entrance signs. So I don't know if we can afford new signs. To tell you the truth, I don't know anything about the budget that we have a surplus. I'd be surprised. But all I can say is if I get in, I will look into it. And I will let you know, because I know where you're in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
There's been several projects in town lately, the new tourist center, buying the Jehovah Witness Church to make for community hall for the different groups and stuff. And these are all good projects. They all cost money. But we seem to be losing a lot of the base work that needs to be done in town. Sidewalk repairs, road repairs, sign repairs. Every spring, the lines on the road used to be painted. Now they're done every 4 or 5 years, and I think they're done with water paint because they're gone the next Thursday. Why is it that the basics are being ignored for bigger projects?
This question is for Gary.
Ignored for bigger projects. I'm not in the hot seat yet. I don't have the full answer to that, but I see things that'll arise if I'm mayor that will take precedent over other things, obviously. The things most coming up that have to get done are things that affect most of us on a day-to-day basis, utilities, water, and that sort of thing. I don't know what the reason is now, why there's things on holds and certain things get done and others don't. Nothing is perfect in a real world. Like, everything has to start from something. Some people on the upper bench might complain that the sanding is beginning on the lower bench, vice versa, but it gets done, and it should get done. At the end of the day, everything, all the big projects and little projects should get done, and that's what I'm going to do when I get in there, is to get it done. Can't really answer more than that because I'm not sitting there yet. Okay.
Thank you. Is there another question? Yes. Rose.
I don't know if you can hear me. Do I need a mic? Okay. I am standing, so maybe I better use the mic. Thank you very much. You saw 9 potential candidates tonight. I'm going to ask this in terms of being a mayor. And what quality would you bring forward with such diverse personalities? And bear in mind, I have no tolerance for bullies. So that can't be an answer. What would you use, or what is your best qualities would you feel that would bring the council and a team together and work together with the diverse personalities?
Thank you. That question's for Beth.
Well, the qualities I bring to the table, I've had my own business. I know about budgets. I figure I'm pretty good at working with a team. I've had my own business. I'm fair. I listen to people. I would also, with our team, get some of the residents' perspectives on what's going on in this town. And that's, I know there's more, but I can't think of it. Sorry.
Thank you. Is there another question from the floor? Yes.
Tumbler Ridge in the last 6 years has not provided me with an opportunity to explore that area. I do not want to be a part of industry. I don't find it interesting. No offense to anybody. But it's not for a person like me. People like me in Tumbler Ridge that have a spouse that is part of industry, the only thing for us to do is to try and start our own business. When I looked into it 6 years ago, what didn't stop me was not tax rates. In all honesty, it was, well, just having capital to do so. And the price of leasing out a place in this town is ridiculous. I'm from the Vancouver area, and it's not even close to what they're asking for in the local buildings. Obviously, that is not a fault of this town. It's of the private business owner. This town does seem to spend money on other buildings. I'm just wondering, perhaps, what you guys can do to actually encourage businesses, small businesses that are unrelated to industry, that would perhaps help everybody in the community to shop and stay in this town. What can you actually do to keep them here, keep good businesses here, when we have the rates that we do in this town? That's why we don't have businesses here. That's why people build their own buildings, and it's ridiculous. I mean, when I looked at it at 1675, it's probably more than that now, I don't know. But they're sitting empty. Is there a possibility this town would look at investing in purchasing that or setting up small business loans for people, just helping out in some way? Because this community cannot be a community with just one industry. We talked about diversification. We actually have to invest and encourage people to have those underlying industries to support the main industries that, afford us our life here in Tumbler Ridge. I don't know if that's a clear question.
Can you summarize that into a question?
What can you specifically do besides lowering business taxes to encourage small businesses and the diversification of small businesses?
Thank you.
That's a good question. Rental rates and lease rates are down. That's not in control of council. I mean, we can do all we can to try and suggest better rates and stuff, and we have that. Hey, we have done that, but we don't own those buildings, so we can't. And it is a big investment. I actually talked to a businessman today about that. To invest in this town, it takes some money, and you've got to have some real concerns when you put that money out because of our up and down. If we can just get a kind of a straight economy that goes this way rather than this way, it makes it a lot easier for somebody to, like yourself, to invest in even building a building, or and having a proper bank. I've been saying this for years. When I moved into town, I opened a business. I went to the Royal Bank. They give you a bunch of money to get going. You can't do that anymore. And I don't like to come down on the credit union but they are a credit union. That's different than a regular bank. And we have, as a council, been approaching banks, and we've had the ideas of building buildings. Goes through council.
10 seconds.
It's something that maybe isn't in the council's realm, though. It's tough. That was the problem.
It feels like that part of the evening went so quickly because we've only had the 3 candidates, but they've actually spoken to you as much as each of our councillor candidates have done. And so we're at the point now of having each candidate make their closing remarks. And so I'd like to invite our candidates. That if you can. We'll try not to talk so fast this time. Okay, I'll talk.
You're right.
Okay. I've been a resident here since 2002, and during my time here, I worked for the district of Tumbler Ridge for 4.5 years in Public Works and the Rec Center. For the last 7 years, I have been self-employed, custodial and security contractor, and before arriving here, I was employed at Port Alberni Woodwards for 17 years. My final 6 years as an area manager with a staff of approximately 40 covering 14 departments. I opened and ran a very successful business, Specialty Showcase, for 8 years. I was on the board of 3 senior facilities. I am treasurer of the Tumbler Ridge Health Center Foundation, and I belong to the Chamber of Commerce. I have completed many personnel and management courses. I am motivated and personable with a strong history of team building, open communication, and integrity. I believe in effective recruitment, management, and successful, reputable functioning. And I just want to make a comment that I've gone to the credit union, I've talked to them about opening up a business, borrowing money for a house, whatever. I have never had a problem with the credit union. And I would be honored to have your support for mayor. No promises, just action. Thank you.
There we go. Looking at a lot of faces I know over the years, a lot of neighbors and people that I've talked to. All I can say is you see what you get. My name's Garrett Gallhoff. I'm running for mayor, and I take it very seriously. I will do whatever I can. First thing is hard work, sitting in my office with a telephone there and ringing the phone, ringing it provincially, federally, doing whatever I can for whatever I can, for whatever you need. I'll work hard. I'll have extra chairs in there for other people that come in and want to use my phone too, especially for council. The 6 people that get elected for council, I'm going to get along with them. There's no reason not to. You can't get things done unless you get along with the people you work with. And I'm good at that. I've been lead hands. I've got my own business right now, and all the jobs that I've had to get along with people, and it's really easy. It's not a hard thing. We're all different, but there's a delegation thing involved, and you can see people's strengths. My voting's changed a little bit by what I saw tonight. I really like what I saw tonight for the council members. And I hope you like what you see for mayor. You don't have to vote for me, but you know, it's vote for whoever you feel can do the best job in the next 4 years for you. Common sense and hard work. That's me. And I'll do the best I can. And that's my speech.
Some long-term solutions that I have written down here, and I wanted to bring them up tonight. We have wind farms in production, under construction, also waiting for purchase agreements from BC Hydro. Capital Power and Pattern Energy have offices in town. The proposed expansion of the community forest brings the possibility of attracting some sort of mill and also a bioenergy plant, which is mentioned earlier. In the oil and gas sector, we have CNRL and PNG, both with offices in town, and they do hire locally. We have underground coal mines under construction and in bulk sample stage. These mines can extract coal at a lower price and can compete in a slower market. Anglo American, Teck, Walter Energy still have offices in town and are waiting for the market to improve. The largest deposit in the world, the best coal quality of coal in the world, mine life expectancy from 30 to 50 years, suggests that we'll be producing coal out of this area for a long time. The idea of having a training center was brought forward by council and has received support from both industry and Northern Lights College. It needs only the support of the provincial government. This training, which covers open pit, underground mining, will take place at our Northern Lights campus and local mines. The possibility of being a foreign investment center is exciting, brought forward by our EDO. I think the geopark is the most exciting thing to happen in TR for quite a while. We have to thank some dedicated volunteers who have worked long and hard to get this designation.
10 seconds.
I feel as residents, we all need to take ownership and do our part in promoting this geopark. We have an exciting future ahead of us, and I'm looking forward to taking on the challenge. Thank you. Vote for that.
Before we complete for the evening, I'd like to invite you all to stay around to ask questions of the candidates and our council candidates as well. The coffee service is still full, just here by the exit doors. There's still a few things at the back for goodies, and I encourage you to stay. Before that, please let's give a huge round of applause for our mayoral candidate. Wishing you all the best, and to the candidates, and to you, thank you for coming. I understand tomorrow is our first election, pre-election? What are we going to call it tomorrow?
Advanced polls.
That's the word. It's our first advanced poll. So if you aren't able to vote on the 15th, make sure you do get out tomorrow. If you need some more time, now is the weeks you have to speak with the candidates and make sure that you're making a decision for yourselves. And so thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Carmen, for putting this together. No problem. Okay, have a nice night. Thank you, Steve. We love you, Carmen.